Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Shine with Dorothy-Inez. And I'm your host, Miss Dorothy-Inez. That's Dorothy-Inez, not Dorothy, simply Dorothy-Inez. And welcome to Shine, where today I have an amazing guest. Her name is Charyse Williams, and we are going to be talking about having the courage to follow your dreams. Let me just take a moment and tell you about this amazing woman, Charyse Williams. Charyse Williams is a holistic health and empowerment coach. She is also a registered nurse and certified living on live food educator. Did you get that? Living on live food educator. That's a little bit of a tongue twister for me. Charyse teaches busy, high achieving women how to nourish their bodies on a cellular level with nutrient-dense foods, medicinal herbs, essential oils, and simple holistic tools that keep their bodies functioning optimally while they are creating and living the life of their dreams. So after this, I am going to have Charyse go ahead and come on now that you know who my amazing guest is. All right, we're here. We're here, Charyse. We made it.
We made it. Yes.
Welcome. I'm so glad to have you.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad and honored to be here. So thank you.
You're very welcome. It's so funny. I have to tell our audience every time I say Charyse's name, a certain thing, tell them her name that wants to keep pop. Tell them her name. Say it for me.
You want me to say it?
Yeah.
Her or mine?
Hers.
Siri.
Yeah, I don't want to say it. She keeps showing up. Yeah, every time, because if she can't hear you because I've got my earbuds on.
Right.
But every time I say Charyse's name, that one shows up on. She's popping
like,
up.
Yes.
Yeah, she's like, yes. How can I help?
Exactly. That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
So I am so glad to have you here. We've been talking about this. It feels like forever, but at least 3 weeks we've been talking about this, getting ready for you to be here with us today. So let's just dive in to the juiciness, because we just have 30 minutes and I want these women and men to get as much as they can and learn from you as much as they can. Perfect. So let me ask you, Charyse, what inspired you? There she goes. She's like, What inspired you?
That's hilarious.
I know.
She's so nosy.
I know she is, right? What inspired you to leave your leadership position? Because before I get started, let me just tell you all, this woman was in the top leaders of her company. She was in a direct sales company, and she decided to leave that leadership role that she had. She had an entire team to pursue the dream that God had put in her heart. She chose to leave something that she knew was successful for something that she didn't know. So this leads me to the question, what inspired you to leave your leadership position with your direct sales company to start all over as a health coach? Because there's so many women who are in, whether it be a career, whether it be a direct sales company, and they have a big team and they're like super successful in that thing, but their heart is being nudged to move somewhere else. How did you do it?
That's an excellent question, and you're absolutely right. For me, what happened was I had finally an undeniable calling that I absolutely had to honor. So I'm going to take you back for a quick second. this is not something that just happened, right? This was something in the works, probably started about 10 years ago. I was still at the top of, my game in my network marketing company, and I definitely was not looking to do anything different. But, with my background being nursing, I've always had the desire to help people heal and be better, right? And so, I would take different certifications. I would learn different things. I learned about how food affects our body or how the right foods affect our body. We know how the wrong foods affect our body.
Right.
Yeah. And so even up until about 3 years ago, I was still I was still in that. I was feeling more and more anxious as the years went by. I kept feeling this tugging at my heart, and I just remember thinking, God, I know that's not what you're telling me. I know you're not saying. I know you are not telling me to pivot and do something totally different. I know that's not what you're saying, and I was in denial. To be quite honest, I was in absolute denial because I loved what I was doing. I absolutely did, and so it just got to a point, honestly, that it was so heavy. I don't even like to use the word heavy. It was just, it was there. It was like a constant tugging at my heart to the point where I just could not ignore it anymore. And so here's the deal. This is what I tell people all the time. You can sit on whatever it is that God's calling you to do if you want to. And it's a process and it's a journey, but eventually you absolutely have to honor that because it's not going to go away. It is not going to go away. The more I kept saying, I don't hear you, God. You're not saying that. No, you're not. I don't hear you. The more I kept ignoring it, the stronger it was. And to the point where I was like, this is crazy. Surely he did not give me this desire to not, to do nothing with it. And it's really interesting that I wasn't even concerned about, okay, I have all the success over here. This is something new. What if I don't have success? I never actually even thought that. I knew because this was not my thing. This was not something I came up with. This is something that God gave to me. So I never had I never questioned whether I would be successful or not. I knew it had to be because he's the one who called me to it. So
Right. And that's the beautiful thing about when you have that strong relationship with spirit, with God, with Jesus, whatever you call it, that you can really have the courage, because the courage comes from, in my point of view, comes from above, that courage to step in, because like you said, your heart was being called to. It was almost like you had no choice.
I had no choice.
You think you had a choice, but you had no choice. It's kind of like the same thing with me, Charyse. I was working about to hit 6 figures, just a couple thousand shy of that, when I was called to become a makeup artist. And I was like, what? At 40 years old, leaving almost 6 figures to become a makeup artist and start at the bottom. But it was something, like you're saying, deep within the soul that I had to do it. And then that one step led to where I am today. And it's leading you to where you ultimately are supposed to be. And, so that's beautiful. So let me ask you, what would you say to a woman who's considering leaving? She's got this successful career. What would you say to her? How can she get that courage that you had to step out?
So that's a great question. I will say this. It wasn't easy. Like, as I mentioned earlier, that I wasn't concerned that success would come. That was none of the conversation that was going on in my head. For me, what was going on in my head was it was the fear of doing something different. I mean, totally doing something different. And it really wasn't easy. That's why I was in denial for 3 years. I'm like, I'm not doing this. And it was more than 3 years, really. But so what I would say to that woman is, you have that desire, that burning desire, for a reason. And you may not even know why you have it. But it is our duty, for lack of a better word, to really honor what it is that is calling, that what it is that's calling to us.
Right.
This is what I realized. The longer I denied, refused to, to really honor that, I was actually becoming more and more miserable. I thought I was happy in my career, and I was happy doing the things, but like if I was training or doing something like that, I was ecstatic. But then when I wasn't, like I felt it got to a point where I felt unfulfilled. Why was I unfulfilled? Because I was not doing what I was supposed to be doing.
Right.
And so you just have to be willing to go for it and know that it's going to work. It's going to work out. Like, again, God doesn't set you up for failure. It's going to work out.
Right. And I always say, I was talking to a group of women this past weekend, and I talked about the consequence that happens when we don't show up in that which God has really called us to. Yeah. And there's there's the con, and then there's a sequence that happens, And so because God is inviting you to step into this specific call and purpose, and when you don't, there's a sequence that it's like those dominoes, that there's a domino effect, because you are called to reach certain people. And if you didn't show up, people miss out on the gift that is you, and then you miss out on the abundance and the prosperity that was intended for you by answering the call. Because God blesses us, like you're saying right here. You know what? I wasn't too worried about, whether I was going to make it or not, because I knew if God told me to do it, and I'm paraphrasing.
You're doing a great job.
God told me to do it, it was going to be blessed.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep. 100%. 100%. Yeah. I just had to get out of my way. And that's what stops us. It's never anyone else who really truly stops us from doing what it is that we want to do, whether that's have success, but anything. It's us. We get in our own way. We trip ourselves up. We prevent ourselves from reaching higher levels of greatness. It's us. We do it to ourselves. So I had to get out of my way.
Yes. So if you ladies and gentlemen that are watching this right now, if any of this is resonating, I want to invite you to just drop a comment, drop a heart. If you have any questions for myself or Charyse, drop it in the comments. I can see you. We would love to hear from you. So Charyse, my next question for you is, when you made this choice, by the world standards, you may have been considered overweight, unhealthy. Did that pose any mental challenge to you? And did you get any resistance or challenge from other people? Because it was the beginning of your process. And what I love is you didn't let that stop you from stepping out. Tell us about that part of your, well, tell us about a part of that journey.
Yes. So that was probably one of the biggest factors to me, like I would say, like coming out of the closet, going public with my message. Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, Charyse, wait a minute. How are you like 80 pounds overweight, and you're telling people that they can, get healthier. You're telling people that they can heal their bodies. You're telling, with food, with herbs, with, how, and I felt very conflicted.
Right.
And convicted. Conflicted and convicted. And for a long time, that stopped me. I allowed that to stop me. And so two things with this. It finally came to a point when I literally had a come to Jesus moment with myself. I really did. And I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. You have information that can help people, that can prevent people from suffering. You have information that can prevent people from having to either start taking medications for the rest of their life or to continue staying on meds for the rest of your life. You have information that can help people not be depressed and not have to be on antidepressants. You have information that can help people literally live a better life. And you are concerned that you're overweight, and you're concerned that people might judge you. How dare you? I mean, this was literally finally, this is the conversation I had with myself. How dare you be so self-centered, so self-absorbed that you would hold up someone's healing? People are dying out here. People are dying of high blood pressure. People are dying of diabetes. People are losing limbs. from diabetes, and you're concerned because you're a little fluffy that
Right.
you should wait till you get it all together. That was literally finally the conversation, like I said, that I have with myself. I'm like, okay, you know what? You make a good point, Charyse. You know what? Let me get out of my own way, because, and you know, I've seen it. You know, I used to work in the ICU. I've seen people, you know, most of the diseases that we are suffering with are lifestyle diseases. Most of the diseases that we are suffering with can be eradicated with what we put in our bodies. Literally, this is what I would say: with the foods that we eat, with the thoughts that we think, and with the words that we say. And
Amen.
and you're going to just sit here until you get it together. Okay, Miss Perfect. Yeah, you do that. And while you're doing that, while you're getting yourself together, people are dying, people are suffering, people are losing their moms and their dads, and you know, and literally, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'll do it now.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. And here's the other piece to that is everyone can lose weight, right? Everyone loses weight. And it wasn't losing weight is not about just losing the weight. It is, you have to have a whole mindset shift. You have to unlearn some things and relearn. And I was already in the process, like mentally, I already made the shift. It was like my body was just catching up. I mean, and even now, I mean, I'm like lost close to 50 pounds since COVID.
Wow, you go, girl. Everybody else has gained for your 50.
I know, a lot of people have. Yeah, and no, I'm not doing that. And so that was how that's what really gave me the courage to get out of my way, because I kept thinking, the longer I take to get myself picture perfect, you know, we all have our picture perfect ideal of what we should look like, right? The longer you take doing that, or if you're going to wait to do that, you're going to have all these other people just falling by the wayside, developing diseases that you could have helped prevent them develop in the first place.
Yeah.
Are you okay with that? Are you okay with that? And I was like,
good.
No, I'm not.
Nope.
I'm not.
And especially, you know, I think we don't see tons of African American health coaches. At least I don't see tons of them in this particular field. And Black and brown people suffer so much with those diseases you mentioned: heart disease, diabetes. And so to have, have, you know, educators such as yourself right now is so important, not only for the world, but particularly our community.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So how did you break through the stereotype of, you know, what a health coach should look like? How did you break through that? Did you I know when I shifted, you know, in my messaging, I did a coming out video, so to speak. So did you do anything, what did you do anything like that? Or did you address it head on? Because some people like address the elephant in the room. What did you do?
Yeah, you know what? I did do a video. Not that I really I put it on my website, but you know, I didn't like put it on YouTube and Facebook and here and there and everywhere. But I will tell you that once I had that conversation with myself, I didn't, at that point, literally in that moment, I didn't really even care what other people thought. I'm like, you know what? This is what I know. People who will be receptive to my message will be receptive to my message regardless. Right. And if they aren't, because they see a fluffy woman, you know, telling them how they can prevent themselves from, developing diseases, and my thing was, if they can't see past that, they're not my people.
Right.
And here's the deal. I am on the journey as well. That's another, for a long time, I didn't think there was power in that. This was years ago. This is probably 5, 6, 7 years ago. I was at an event, and I was actually sitting next to someone who was the keynote speaker's business coach. And this is like the keynote speaker was, it was her conference, and multi-million-dollar, anyway, several times New York bestselling author. And so she said, I think you should just take people on the journey. And I was like, no, that don't sound, no, I don't think I want to do that. I'll get all picture perfect, and then I'll tell people, how they can get better. Because it wasn't even really about weight loss. A lot of what I do, it's not just about weight loss. You probably will lose weight, but it's about getting healthier. And it's about literally decreasing inflammation in your body. And so anyway, so fast forward, I just got to the point where I was like, you know what? I am on I have not arrived. I am on the journey. I don't have any diseases. Hello, that's great. I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have, never did, which was great. And still don't. And so I really didn't focus too much. I really wasn't concerned about, okay, what are other people going to think? Once I had that conversation with myself, I'm like, do you spread them? Your job is to educate. Your job is to teach. Your job is to teach people how to heal their bodies. Your body always wants to, our bodies are designed to heal itself.
Right.
Just like when we get a cut, it heals. You don't have to necessarily do anything. It's eventually going to heal, right? So our body's always trying to get to a place of homeostasis or balance. And so my job is to share that information and how to help the body do that. And if you can't hear that message because I'm fluffy, then I hope you hear it from someplace. You know, I'm not tied to that. You're not my people, and it's okay. It's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell us your philosophy. You mentioned, you know, a little bit of your philosophy. Tell us your philosophy, because it's a holistic approach to wellness. So share that with us.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, everything starts with how we think, right?
Right.
Everything. If we think we're going to be a failure or, you know, successful, either way, if we think, so first of all, it starts with what you're thinking. So if you are constantly thinking, I suck, I always
my notebook out.
Okay, right? You know, I suck, I always overeat, I eat, you know, I you know, all the thoughts that we have. I'm too late, I don't have time to work out, I don't have time to cook. These are all thoughts.
I hate to work out,
right? I hate to work out. These are all thoughts that are variations of thoughts that we've all had. And so your body will follow your thoughts. If you are constantly telling yourself, I hate to work out, you think you're going to work out? Absolutely not. There's no way in the world you're going to work out if you hate to work out. And that is the predominant thought. And so here's the deal. Even if you don't really hear yourself thinking these thoughts, you've said them for so many times repetitively over all these years. It is hardwired into your body. That's when I talk about unlearning stuff and then relearning. We've created these, we've hardwired certain things into our brain. The great thing is that we can hardwire other things into our brain that kind of take over that, right? It's kind of like a computer. It's not a computer. We download different programs. So, and then our computer runs those programs. We've been running the same program over and over again. That's why we're in the exact state that we're in, whether it's financially, physically, whatever. It's the same programming. So what's necessary, what's required is that we reprogram. We download more information. We upgrade our operating system. Because when we change our thoughts, our body follows. If I say, and I'm a huge believer of affirmations. If I say, you know, every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. I always make healthy choices, food choices. You know, I love to work out. My body is in the best shape of its life. You know, when I say things like that, those things that I'm saying, thoughts that I'm having, that's reprogramming my brain. Because I promise you, no one has ever gone out and got their clothes on and walked on the block after telling themselves, God, I hate working out. Oh, I hate sweating. Oh my God, I feel so awful. I don't want to.
Have you been in my brain?
No. It's a common theme. You're not the only one. And so there's no way in the world you're going to do it. So it all starts with what's up here, what we're saying to ourselves, being willing to dump the old programming and install new programming, right? And then, so that's one prong. I mean, that's one piece of it. And the other piece is what we put in our mouth, right? I am a huge proponent. So you mentioned at the very beginning, I'm a certified living on live food educator. And what that means is living on live food. It is fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, nuts, seeds, and grains. And when I say that, people are like, what am I supposed to eat with that? Like, what am I supposed to do with that? And what's
a lot of good stuff.
and it really is good stuff. Like I make an amazing, I'm going to just throw some things out, because when I say, you know, fruits and vegetables, nuts, seeds, they're like, people are like, I don't want any of that. I make a fabulous avocado stuffed portobello mushroom. It is delicious. It is divine. My husband, who's not even vegan or vegetarian or anything, he loves that. I make a fabulous, I don't even have a name for it really, but it's like this noodly thing with mushrooms and vegetables. It's delicious.
Somebody loves mushrooms.
I do. I do like mushrooms. What's really funny about that is I don't like just like raw mushrooms like off the salad bar, but I love mushrooms otherwise. But you know, you can eat cheese, you can make cheesecake and it's delicious. There's so many things that you can make with those things, with you know, those five, I think I named 5 things. It's amazing. You can be as creative as you want to be. I make a delicious like fettuccine alfredo. It's so good. Marinades, I mean, just all kinds of stuff. And so it's good. You're not sacrificing flavor. It's delicious, but you're healing your body, because your body, when we give our body what it needs on a cellular level, we're not giving it the junk. All of your cells can function better. Our body is literally made up of trillions of cells. And so when all of our cells are working on one accord, guess what? There's no disease.
Yeah, everything's working well, and yeah, no dis-ease can happen in the body.
Absolutely. And I won't go into a huge thing with alkaline and acidity. But it has
we only got 2 minutes.
I know,
so
right?
We can't get it.
Right?
So this is why you want to, connect with women like Charyse, and to find out if you want to get on that healthy journey, really begin to start taking care of your body temple. And this is a great month, because this is the month of self-love and beauty. So yes, exactly. Thank you so much. So last question, and give me a quick answer.
Yes.
Is what has this journey done for you, your life, and your business? Just as a whole.
It's the best word I can use is freedom. I literally, and I remember telling someone this. I told them, I said, I feel so free because I'm living my truth. I am living my purpose. It doesn't get any better than that. And with that, there's no stress involved in it. There's no, you're living in your purpose. I'm living in my purpose. This is what I'm designed to do, created to do during this season of my life. I hope forever, but I don't know. I don't know the plan. I didn't create the plan.
Yeah, we just go with the flow.
So freedom and peace and a joy like I can't even explain. Someone even mentioned that to me after I finally came out. They were like, "You just seem so like just this happiness." I'm like, I am ecstatic.
Yeah.
Ecstatic.
And it took you back to your roots of being a nurse, those medical roots. You bring that to your clients. So for those of you that are interested in learning more about Charyse, I was waiting to see if that one was going to show up. I have to really overly pronounce your name.
I know, that's hilarious.
If you want to connect with her, I want to invite you to check out the show notes, and I'm going to drop that in the link. You can also just go right on over. Let me put it up on the screen. You can take a screenshot of where you can connect with Charyse. It's bit.ly/shine with Charyse. So go there. You're going to find her Instagram, her Facebook, her website, and she has a freebie for you. So you definitely want to get over there to that page. Also, I want to let you know, if you'd like to show up and shine more in your life and in your business, I want to invite you to go over to my business page, which is Dorothy-Inez.com, Dorothy-Inez.com, and get my Courageous Confidence e-guide that will help you to show up and shine with more confidence. And who knows, you might come out with your own version of shine or whatever it is to help you grow your business, help you make the impact that you were we're called to make in life. Also, I want to invite you this weekend to my Galentine's Day event. I'm doing a Galentine's Day beauty event this weekend live on Facebook, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Me and my friend Candace Simpson are going to be doing makeup, 2 makeup looks, and we're going to do them specifically in the early part of the day so that you can show up and look super cute for your hot date that night. So join us at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard, 1 p.m. Pacific. So any final comments you want to say to our viewers?
Yes, get out of your way. Honor that calling. You know what it is, whatever it is. Honor that calling. It's not going to go anywhere. Trust me. You can't outrun it. It's there. And finally, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. That is all.
Food be thy medicine and food. Say that again. Food be thy medicine
and medicine be thy food.
And medicine be thy food. Wonderful. Love it, love it, love it. So thank you again for joining us. Next week, I am going to have Justina Ford is going to be our guest, and she is a business mindset and strategy coach. Business mindset and strategy coach. I look forward to having her on. Charyse, thank you so much for spending time with the audience today, sharing your amazingness, your greatness. We love and appreciate you. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you next week on Shine. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe to Shine with Dorothy-Inez. God bless you.
Bye.